session we'll discuss about, first of all, the background. Then we'll discuss about preparing GST returns using Excel utility, which has been released by GST in couple of days back. And then we'll see how GST returns can be prepared using compliance software, and for that we have Gov Reports compliance software. And in the end we'll have Q&A session. In case you have any query, in case you have any questions, we'll try to answer all those queries during this session. Okay. So let us start with the background. Friends, as you all are aware of that in the GST system, tax invoice related data will be uploaded for both sales invoices, and for purchases the data will be uploaded by the counterparty, and this data will be matched. So these are all the areas which we'll be looking into in this session. So let us start with preamble or the background. Friends, GST will have impact on the business. Goods and services may not change, but it may impact the business structure. There are many taxpayers who might have organized their business structure or the affairs in such a way so that they get out of the purview of excise exemption limit, but after the GST's implementation, those excise limits are gone. Now there is only one single tax which has a limit of 20 lakh rupees. So those taxpayers might be considering the reorganization of structure into, say, one entity. Clients and suppliers may not have much impact, except that they need to register with the GST and they need to provide the GST number to the taxpayer, and taxpayer needs to report this in their returns. Operations may go as usual, except that for operations taxpayer will be considering the impact of GST on each and every transaction. GST's impact on reporting obligation will also undergo change. Instead of multiple returns, multiple filings, now there will be a single return filing which will be for GST returns. And for GST returns, as you are aware of, first of all, the data for outward supply of goods and services will be filed, which will be in the form of GSTR 1. Then the data of inward supply of goods and services will be downloaded from GST portal, and after reconciliation it will be again uploaded at GST portal. So there is a filing of data of inward supply and goods and services at GST portal in the form of GSTR 2. Then based on these two returns, GSTR 3 will be auto-populated by the system, and after the payment of taxes, taxpayer can upload its monthly return in the form of GSTR 3. So these three will be the monthly regular obligation or the monthly obligation for a regular taxpayer. And for doing this, the taxpayer needs to have a good GST compliant software which can help in GST returns preparation and filing. And most important area in GST return and filing will be reconciliation of data mismatch. Now, taxpayers may be using different softwares for managing their business, particularly the books of accounts. They may be making the accounts books manually, they may be keeping the records manually, manual receipts, manual books and ledgers. Some of them may be keeping the records on Excel or other accounting methods may be using. But after the computers have come into the picture, most of the people have moved to the computer system. Computer systems have become very user friendly after Microsoft has launched this Windows, and most of these small traders are also today using Tally or Busy or other accounting software for preparing their returns. But later on we are seeing the move towards cloud computing or cloud accounting software. Most of the ERP systems are also today moving to cloud software. So these are the environment in which a taxpayer is working today. Now, after the implementation of GST, every business transaction needs to be GST compliant. So the taxpayer needs to be vigilant. As you know, the tax invoice related data is being uploaded, and within that tax invoice, not all the data is uploaded. This we have already discussed in one of the webinars earlier. For a passing reference, I can mention here the data which will be uploaded at GST portal will be details of seller and buyer, GSTI number of seller or buyer, date of issuance of invoice, because based on this invoice the time of supply rule will be applied by the system, place of supply, state and state code. Based on the place of supply, the rule relating to place of supply in GST will be applied. HSN code or SSC code of goods or services. Then type of GST, which could be CGST, SGST, IGST or UTGST, tax and the amount. These are the data which will be uploaded at GST system, and this will be matched between the supplier and the recipient. Now, just to refresh your memory, these are the returns which will be filed by a regular taxpayer. I will not go into detail of these returns because this we have already discussed in one of the webinars earlier. GSTR 1 monthly return will be detail of outward supply of goods and services. GSTR 2 monthly return relating to inward supply of goods and services. 3 monthly return which will be prepared based on GSTR 1 and 2 filed by the taxpayer, and annual return in the form of GSTR 9. Now these steps also we have discussed. You can have a look at the steps that we have discussed in one of the webinars earlier. I am not speaking much on it. I'll leave it to you. You can read it and understand. So after these 5 steps, there are 4 more steps which a taxpayer needs to take to complete the filing process every month. Friends, please note that these steps needs to be followed irrespective of any software which is being used by the taxpayer for the purpose of compliance. Now, recently GSTN has released an Excel based utility for the purpose of preparation and filing of GST returns. So let us see how this GST Excel based utility can help a taxpayer in preparation and filing of returns. Now, this is basically for preparation and filing of GSTR 1, which is outward supply of goods and services. So it has data related to B2B supplies, and within B2B supplies, the data which will be uploaded at GST portal will be GSTIN or UIN number of the recipient, invoice number, invoice date, invoice value, place of supply, reverse charge if any, invoice type, e-commerce GSTN, rate, taxable value and cess amount. These are the fields which are in the Excel sheet, or these are the columns which are there in the Excel sheet. Similarly, there is data relating to B2C large, and similar data is being uploaded, the data which I have mentioned in the for B2B. Then the same way the data for B2C cases also, the same data will be uploaded, and there the only condition is in case of intrastate, all the data will be uploaded, all the transactions will be uploaded, but in the case of interstate, it will be uploaded only if the invoice value is rupees 2.5 lakh or more. Now, if you look at the utility, it has got B2B transaction, B2C large transaction and B2C small transaction. Then there are 7 more sheets, worksheets in which you can fill in the data. I am sure many of you must have downloaded this Excel based template which the GSTN has posted on their website. Friends, I'll try to quickly walk you through this because this presentation is going to be a long presentation. We are trying to cover two options which are available to taxpayer for the purpose of preparation of GST returns. Now coming back to B2B transaction, now these are all the information which the taxpayer needs to upload. You can see the column, first column, the GST number or UIN number of the recipient, then invoice number, invoice date, invoice value, place of supply, reverse charge, invoice type, e-commerce, GSTN, rate, taxable value and the sales. These are the data points on which the data needs to be provided in this Excel sheet. Now in case of B2C large also the similar data needs to be provided. Then in case of B2B, we have some sample data of invoices which has been uploaded here in this Excel sheet for the purpose of making ourselves conversant with the system. So we have provided GST number, invoice date, invoice value, place of supply and everything, but this has to be in a particular format. These are all the data which we have provided. Now once you fill in the data, and then the Excel sheet itself prepares your return GST 1, and you can go to GST portal and they are login there. For login, your credentials are checked by way of the OTP which is provided on the mobile phone which you have registered at the time of registration. So once you put that OTP, it allows you to communicate with GST portal, and then you can go to your dashboard and there you can file the GSTR 1. When you click file GSTR 1, the data which you have captured in this Excel sheet, that gets uploaded. You can see the button icon file GSTR 1. When you click this, all the data which is there in the Excel sheet, that gets uploaded in on the GST portal. And once you upload the data, then you get a message also, GSTR 1 has been filed successfully. You can see this message on the top of the dashboard in green color with and red arrow marking that. So this way you can use this Excel based utility for the purpose of filing of your GST returns. Now friends, I have discussed about the steps which are involved in doing monthly returns filing. Now with this utility, now we have uploaded the data of sales register. So we have completed step 1, which is uploading of GSTR 1 at GST portal. Now there are some more steps which a taxpayer needs to complete before his monthly compliance is over, like step number 2, downloading GSTR 2A, step number 3, reconciling of inward supply of goods and services, step number 4, uploading GSTR 2, then step number 5, downloading GSTR 1A. Friends, as you are aware that the GSTR 1 which is uploaded at GST portal, it will go to the other party for his confirmation of the invoice level data, and in case there is any objection from his side, it comes as a mismatch to the taxpayer. So after downloading this GSTR 1A, he needs to reconcile the supplies and upload GSTR 1A. And after this is over, there is one more step, is reconciliation of electronic credit ledger and electronic cash ledger, and thereafter only the last stage for filing of monthly return is reached. Now here the first step is complete with the Excel based utility which has been provided by the GSTN. Now you can also try your hands in using this Excel based utility, and in case you come up with some suggestion as to how the other steps will be followed in this, please share this with me also for updating my knowledge. Now this was one option which the taxpayer has today for using Excel based utility for compliance or GST compliance. Now there is a second option which is available to taxpayer, which is using the compliance software for the purpose of preparation and filing of return. So for that purpose, we have got Gov reports as the GST compliance software. So for this, you can register with Gov reports, and the steps involved are you can add client, you can set up the organization, you can add items, you can add customers, you can add invoices, tax invoices, then you can file GSTR 1. So let us see one by one the steps involved in this. Now you can go to Gov reports, and there you can go to clients. Here you can add new clients, any company or the company for which you want to prepare GST return. First of all, you need to add them in your software. So when you click on add client, so this is the window which appears where you need to put the particulars of your client, like name, GST number, PAN number, trade name, display name, and CRN number will be created by the software. Once you save this data is saved in the compliance software, and it can be used in future for any other purpose, for example for communication, sending any communication, for sending the tax invoice, bills or other things. Now here you can add the client's detail, you can get the overview of the client, his client's detail, everything is available here. So this was one portion of the software where you can add the client, you can add authorized users, you can create the jobs and manage the jobs by using the software. the other portion of the software, which is the GST returns preparation software, that is contained in right hand side icon which you see ledger. Once you click this ledger, then you reach to the software which is preparing GST return. So it will show you the client detail, and you can open the file of the client. For example, we have on the screen client's name Mantra Sugar Mills, and when we click on the open, it opens the file of the client, and here we can put the organization details, their name, their address, their GST number, their type of manufacturing, nature of companies, public limited, private limited, financial year, contract details. That all information we can put in here, which can be used by the software for the purpose of making bills, for the purpose of sending communication to the client. Now within organization setting, then this is the bird view which you get when for a client. Now you can also set up the item master for a client. So for that you can go to the settings, and when you click on the settings, a drop down window appears, and there you get a menu icon of HSN code and SSC code. So once you click there, then you get the drop down menu in which you can add the goods or services, and its HSN code or SSC code is auto populated. There you can define its units into kilograms or say numbers. Then you can also add its price, tentative price, selling price, and one by one you can go on adding the items. So you will have a list of item list, or your item master is created. Once this item master is created, this can be used by the software in future for the purpose of preparing tax invoices. Now once you have completed the item master, then you can go to the sales in the menu on the left hand side, and within sales you can click on the customers, and this is how you can add the customers who will be buying your products. So when you click on add customers, this drop down window appears where you need to enter all the data relating to the customer. For example, starting from selecting his nature, whether he is a registered dealer or an unregistered dealer. Then you need to provide full name, their GST number, their tax payer type, regular or unregistered. Then you also need to provide their email address, phone number, and the complete postal address that you need to fill in. So this is how you complete your customer masters, and this customer master data is used in future by the software for the purpose of preparing any tax invoice in future. Now this is the customer profile. Once you enter this data, then the customer profile is created in the software. Here you can see on your screen the example of the customer profile which is created. Now you can go to the sales register, and in sales register you have got two options to complete the data. One is you can add tax invoice, and another is you can import the files. So for example, if you want to try the first option, you can click on add invoice. When you click on add invoice, a drop down window appears where you need to fill in the data relating to the tax invoice, which is the customer and its address. This is auto populated because you have already created the customer master. You need to add the date of invoice, then reference of purchase order, then you need to add the item detail, quantity, rate which you have put in the masters, that is a tentative rate, and you can always vary that rate. And after you complete this invoice, you can save this, and this invoice, tax invoice, will be saved in the compliance software. Now once you put all the data, then this is the invoice, tax invoice, which is created. Now when you complete one by one all the invoices, at the end of the month you can file your GST run, but before filing you need to save the data of GST-1. So you have an icon on the top left hand side, save GST-1. These invoices you can save at GST portal either on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. And at the end of the month, when all the invoices are saved, then you can go and file your GST run. And for that purpose, you just need to click on file GST-1. Once you click GST-1, then this will connect you to the GST portal, and for that you need to put the OTP password, again OTP in the system, then it will allow you to communicate with GST system. So Gov report is actually your GST compliant software for creation of tax invoice, and tax invoice is the basis for exchange of data between the tax administration system and the tax payer. Now with GST compliant software, you run your business as usual. You produce the file, sales register and the purchases register. With sales register has got tax invoices which are GST compliant, and you can file it via the common portal of GST, and any non-validated file which is not corrected from the software is not uploaded, and this can be filed using GOV software. Now you have an option to import the Excel workbook into the system for uploading the data of sales. That is the second option. You can click on the icon import sales or the sales data. So then you have this screen which appears import sales CSV format. So you can click on here and drag and drop the file here, or you can click here, then you can select the file from your desktop. Whichever file is applicable, that you can open the file in the software, and when you click on the upload, the file gets uploaded in the compliance software. And this is how this, it shows on your screen. Then each data item is matched to the fields provided in the software. You need to check that all the columns are assigned, and assigned to a particular column. In case it is not assigned, it will show here as an error message, and then you need to rectify it. Once you upload all these things, then you get the import summary of how many rows you have imported, 25, how many rows are valid and how many are invalid rows. In case there are some invalid rows, then you need to check up the error report, which will show you where all the error has happened, and that error you need to rectify before further process can be done on this data. You also get the transaction summary of invoices that you imported into compliance software. For example, here we have got 25 transactions, and out of that all 25 are valid, no invalid transactions. So this can be uploaded, this can be used for preparation of GSTR. Now you can file your tax invoices as you progress single tax invoice filing. Now once you have completed all your tax invoices, your GSTR 1 is prepared and your GSTR dashboard shows like this, and in the return it starts from table number 4, which you can see on your screen. This is in GSTR 1 format, which has been provided by GST rules. This is also part of your dashboard, which shows the summary of invoices, tax invoices, the data of which has been uploaded in the compliance software. Now after you have added all the tax invoices to the compliance software and saved all the invoices on GST portal, then you can go and click on file GSTR icon, and when you click on file GSTR option, these all invoices which are there, they get uploaded into the system. The data relating to these invoices get uploaded into the system. You can also file multiple tax invoices at the same time using this GOV software. In the earlier case, we were trying to show you how a single tax invoice can be uploaded, but here in this case multiple tax invoices are being uploaded. And when you click on the icon file GSTR, so you first get connected to the GST portal by using an OTP. That OTP comes on your registered mobile number. Once you put that OTP, then the system allows you to interact with GST portal. Then you can also import Excel workbook, import into the GST software, and you can see the screenshot of how it appears on your screen when you import the Excel workbook relating to sales. You can also import sales payment Excel workbook into the system, so that updates all the data relating to sales payments which have been received by the taxpayer. Now you can also import files, Excel workbook or other software validation into the GOV reports by just dragging and dropping the file and uploading it, clicking on upload button. Particular column, and you get this screens which all data has been mapped or which all columns have been assigned, which all data has been assigned a particular column. In case some of the data has not been assigned any column, then you get the information by way of a pink color icon, pink color block, and then you need to assign a particular column to that data. Now with this, lot of validation happens, and in case this data doesn't pass any of the validation check, then you get an error message. For example, here you get one invalid rows and the error is shown in the pink color, that note which is appearing on your screen. State code place of supply is required, which is missing in the data. Now after the validation is over, then you can file the return through the common portal of GST. You can go to the GST portal, log in over there using your OTP, and once you are logged in, then this screen appears for GSTR1 filing, where you get the option or the icon file GSTR1. When you click on this icon file GSTR1, the data relating to GSTR1 gets uploaded at GST portal and your return is filed, and you also get a message of return filed successfully. Now apart from uploading the data, you also get the information on your dashboard about data mismatch, like you get receivers mismatch reports and suppliers mismatch report. This is from GST portal. Now this is how your data mismatch reports will look like. When you download it from the GST portal, you will have receivers mismatch report and suppliers mismatch report. In case of receivers mismatch report, in the sample file which you are seeing on your screen, you can see there are 3 tax invoices which have got data mismatch. Now this you can see on your screens that data mismatch is there. In case of taxable value, the receiver is showing the value of 1,10,000, whereas the supplier is showing the value of 1 lakh. So because of this, the tax gets impacted, and finally the difference between the correct one and the incorrect one is 2,000 rupees mismatch credit. Now here please you need to note one thing is that government will not disallow rupees 2,000 rupees which is a mismatch difference, but it will hold on the entire credit of rupees 22,000. Similarly, there will be supplier mismatch report where you will get the invoice wise data of mismatch items and you need to reconcile it. Now for reconciliation, you need to use software applications because the number of invoices may be large and it may not be possible for a human being to compare all these invoices manually or by using the Excel VLOOKUP facility. You need to use the software. GOV Reports has got the facility to reconcile this data mismatch. For example, on your screen you can see electronic tax liability ledger, for which the reconciliation has been done by the software, and it is showing the mismatch items and particularly pointing out where all the error has happened and what is the quantum of error. Then reconciliation of cash entries from portal also need to be done. Like for example, you can see the screenshot of the entries at the portal where the amounts are showing amounts debited in the ledger and different different taxes from IGST, CGST. That amount is available which the taxpayer needs to reconcile with his own accounting records. Now taxpayer needs to make reconciliation of reversal entries from the portal. See, in portal, in case there is some discrepancy, some mismatch in ITC credit, portal will automatically reverse the entries of ITC which has been allowed provisionally to the taxpayer. Then taxpayer will be required to download these details and reconcile it. Then after all this is done, after the tax credit, electronic cash ledger, electronic credit ledger and other ledgers are reconciled, the taxpayer can file GSTR1, and for that he can go and click on the icon file GSTR1. When he clicks on this, the summary of his return GSTR1 is shown. You can see the sample file. And when he clicks on the filing of the return, then he gets a message that GSTR1 has been successfully filed or uploaded in the system. Friends, this was all about using the GOV report software for the purpose of clients, for the purpose of one. Friends, at the moment the GSTN portal is allowing only uploading of GSTR1. The functionality relating to the downloading of data from the GST portal has not been activated, and once it is activated, we'll try to show you how this functions. Now, for showing it on GOV report software, I'll request my colleague Raj to show it to you through the software, how you will use the software for importing the data into the software and then filing the GST return or GSTR1. Raj?
Yes, Vinod. I'm just taking over.
Take over.
Just to know. Let me go through the Gov reports and you can talk to them, explain to them. Okay. Close your screen. I can start showing my screen now. This is the login page. Yes, Vinod explained. So now we are moving into the ledger component. I am taking a client, Harris Manufacturing Private Limited. This is for the financial year 2017 and 2018. I am opening the client. So we have already made up all the customers item list and everything is there inside. For the time being, as he explained, I am going to upload one of the CSV file into our sales register. So now nothing is there inside our sales register. I am importing the sales. So for this, I am taking the CSV file. Upload. Okay. Now the mapping is already automatically taken place. So all the items whichever Vinod explained in the tax invoice, which is all been mapped already. Now I am taking to the next level. So 15 rows are there, 15 rows already, it is valid status. So I am importing the 15 items there. Okay, so once it is uploaded, you can see what is the status of the items uploaded. Total transactions success is 15, invalid 0, failure is 0. That means 15 transactions it has been uploaded into our system. Okay, let us see the sales register. So now the sales register come out with all the invoices which is in the draft status, which I am going to make it as a mark as sent status. That means it is actually accepted by the system. Okay, so in this 15 transactions, we made 2 credit notes also, which you can see from here. So the credit notes, 2 credit notes are here. So that means as per GSTN Excel template, there are 19,000 line items you can upload at a time. In Gov reports, we haven't kept any limitation as of now. For big companies and everyone, they can take any number of line items and they can try to import into Gov reports and see all the invoices from the system. Okay, so once this is uploaded, next thing we can see the GST return, what is happening. So since all these things are, all the tax invoices are related to the supplies, it should be there in our GSTR1. As we explained earlier, the items 4, 5, 6, that is the business to business, business to consumer, large, that is more than 2.5 lakhs, and business to consumer small, all these items, it has been uploaded here. You can see the numbers here now. If you want to drill down, you can always see, go inside and you can drill down the items and see what is happening there. So that's the way each and every item, it is visible for you. You can see everything. All items related to GST-R1, we have covered everything. It goes up to item 16, table 16, column 7, column 8, column 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. It comes with the document which one is latest they have added into the GST form. So 15 invoices we have uploaded. You can see the numbers here. Invoices per outward supply 13, credit notes 2. That means 15 invoices have been added. Once these are all done clearly, as explained by Vinod, we can save all these files into GST-R1 or file GST-R1. Now, we don't have the connectivity. We are going to get the connectivity from tomorrow onwards. We're supposed to get it. Once it is done, the save GST and GST-R1 and file GST-R1 could be possible from tomorrow. File GST-R1 we are not sure, but saving the supply invoices, it is possible from tomorrow onwards if the GST gateway is open for us. So yes, we explained about the data matching and reconciliation. You can see all these items within the Gov reports. You can go inside and see the electronic cash ledger, electronic tax liability ledger and electronic credit ledger. So this is the way you can take all your tax invoices, subsequently now purchases and expenses, all these things you can take over and you can finalize, do the data matching within Gov reports, reconcile the books within Gov reports, and then you can go for the filing of the GST report. Okay, when there is GSTN is coming out with the Excel template and other thing, why do we need Gov reports? So that's a very important thing we should understand. For that I made a small video, 5 minutes video. Let me play for. We understand now the GSTN is coming out with the Excel template, that is Excel workbook. Anyone can make use of it and the GST supplies can be lodged with common portal without any difficulty. That's what we understand. So when these things are happening, why do we need Gov reports? That's the question in front of us. Let us try to find a reply for this. GSTN Excel template. From July 1st, businesses are conducting transactions with GST. They can consolidate the transactions as prescribed by GSTN and upload in common portal. The Excel workbook template can take care of all classification required to meet GST reporting. So now we need to go in a practical approach. Why do we need Gov reports again? It looks simple with Excel workbook template. When I look at very closely about this Excel workbook template, it looks like theoretical. So we need some sort of practical approach. So how do we get into the practical approach with Gov reports? So when we start entering the Excel workbook into the common portal, we used to get some mismatched items which we can see like this. As emphasized in our webinar, tax invoice properties are ruling entire GST reporting system. Any element, for instance date, if not entered the way portal can accept, will be rejected instantly. If the date is entered incorrectly, the transaction will move to mismatched items. For this purpose, the role of business software
is very essential. When a transaction is not accepted in common portal, the transaction need to be fixed in the business software before regenerating GST compliant Excel workbook and taken to common portal. The mismatch items created out of other party submission need to be corrected in portal as well as in business software. Common portal entries. Apart from whatever supplies and invoices we are uploading in the portal, other entries are possible from the common portal. Common portal can come out with two types of entries related to GST. First type is penalties, interest, fees and other entries. The second type could be reversal of entries of previous GST returns. So these transactions need to be added in business GST compliance software to generate reconciled GST report for filing. Again, the same question, why Gov reports? Gov reports resolves these cumbersome process fully automated manner. High-level tech-savvy skills not required, as Gov reports architecture covers every aspect of GST reporting. What Gov reports does? Gov reports accepts GST and Excel workbook, .csv file generated from any software, allows to use it as a business software, uploads transaction into common portal, imports transaction from common portal, data matching and reconciliation can be done. So now, once the data matching and reconciliation is completed, we can start thinking about filing our GSTR3. When you are ready with GSTR3, file the reconciled GSTR3. Export the reconciled transactions back to business software. That means your business software as well as GST reports submitted with the GSTN common portal is going to match. That means your books are always ready for auditing and investigation. Try Gov reports, where we have translated GST as Gov reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for explaining with the software how this Excel based files will be imported into the software and how GSTR1 will be prepared and uploaded to the GST portal. Now friends, we have created a group at LinkedIn for discussing and sharing the information about GST. In case you are at LinkedIn, you can join this group, GST knowledge sharing group, and get the benefit of exchange of information knowledge at LinkedIn. Now with this our session ends. So in case you have any questions, any queries, we can discuss those. Friends, if you have any queries, any questions, we can discuss them.
If there is any queries, you can put it in the chat message. I can read it out. So either Vinod or myself, we can answer your queries.
I think people are still trying to catch up with the practical things. So there are no queries. So I think then we should end the session. Thank you so much, friends.
Thank you, Vinod. Thank you for your valuable presentation.
Friends, in case you have any questions or queries later on also, you can please share those queries and questions. You can send it on email. We'll try to answer all your questions, all your queries in say next 24 hours or so. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.